All right, let's get the show on the road. Greetings and welcome to Die Drink and Dive presents the Grimstone Chronicles Season 4, Episode 30. I am your DM and host, Marty, joined by the full Ontario crew on this fine Thursday evening. How is everyone doing? Let me unmute your mics and
yo.
Hey.
Hola.
What's going on, guys?
What is up?
I feel officially like an old man because I am playing Car Mechanic Simulator and really stupidly enjoying myself. I set the radio to the classical station in the simulator game, and then I fix cars. And if it doesn't, then I hop into my car, which is fully functioning, to go buy a drink or whatever.
Every 20 minutes he yells, "Get off my lawn!"
Oh, my lawn! Get off it! Oh, I have not one, but two. My wife bought a thing stories. They happened within a 24-hour period of time.
Okay.
So
Go for it.
she bought a cheap pal, which is like a Chinese fancy dress, for one of the dogs, and it came in, and I have no idea why she thought this thing would fit.
Did you say she bought a dress
for a dog?
for a dog? Okay. I wanted to make sure I heard that right. All right,
She
go ahead.
bought a fancy party dress for a dog.
Fancy party dress. Okay.
Too big.
It's a big dog. It's a 60-pound dog.
Okay.
Fancy party dress.
Well, obviously it has to be a fancy party dress. Now it's a big dog.
This party dress is like for a corgi. It is tiny. It is not even fucking close. So currently she has it on a stuffed animal. Just it's now the stuffed animal that is like a cushion. Has a fancy dress on it. And then the other thing she bought was a Norwegian like cabin Lego set. So it's like an A-frame cabin Lego
Go
set
on.
that she wanted to put on the shelf mounted to the wall as decoration. So obviously the 40 centimeter by 60 centimeter
It's
by
wider than the
50
shelf.
centimeter A-frame lean-to cabin model is what we're going to put on the wall with the paintings and like a book. So I get this, I open this thing, and I pull it out of the package, and it's like, oh, I bought myself a thing. I open up, it's like, oh, Legos, okay. And it's like, what are we doing with this? We have no more counter space. It's like, oh, I'm going to put it on the wall. And I'm like, you're going to put it on the wall? It's like, oh, it'll fit. Look at that.
Adam,
There's a gift set that
Adam,
needs to happen where it's like a ruler, a tape measure in both metric and imperial,
Let me
a
tell you how to do it.
calculator, a scale.
Adam, let me tell you how to do it. Build it on a transparent floor and glue it and put it in the corner high so you can look underneath. And for high, it's got like we're talking like 4.5 feet, 5 feet. Because
the spot where she wanted to put it is not the right spot. We will find a place for it. It will go in somewhere, but it's just.
Well, you take the doggy dress and you wrap it around.
The doggy dress is smaller than the model that was supposed to be on the bookshelf.
And then you put that with all the you put that in the chandelier that was too big. Sorry, I know too much. The chandelier of measurements.
The chandelier that when I walk up to my dining room table can hit me in the nipple. That chandelier.
The fact that went up just shows like a refusal to admit you're wrong. Like just this is what I wanted, exactly what I wanted.
There has been no more marital friction in my household than mounting that stupid chandelier because she couldn't do it. I had to do it, and the whole time I'm like, this is fucking stupid.
Cool.
I've had that situation where it's like, just admit you're wrong, and we can stop doing this stupid thing.
We can move on. We can put it on Kijiji. It'll be fine. Nobody has to know.
Ahmed, you had a good morning this morning, apparently.
It was yesterday. I have another thing that happened today. I'll tell you about it. So yesterday, I get up 8 a.m. I get online, and one of the ladies I work with, we have a small group, so we're familiar with each other. I joke a lot. Like half the time in meetings, I'm like Schwarzenegger or what's his name, Sean Connery, right? And anyways, so yeah, it's a small group. She says, call this number. I'm like, okay.
This is somebody you work with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got online. She's like, just quickly call this number. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm like typing Y. I'm like, do you need an alibi or something weird? So she's like, as I'm asked, like reading what she's saying, picks up. Hey, you're on the air. What do we have here? I'm like, it's a what's it called? Contest. It's a radio contest for impersonations. Thank you.
No problem.
I'm like, so Ahmed just woke up. I'm like, hey, how's it going, guys? Yeah, it's my name's Ahmed. How you doing? I'm gonna do Arnold for you. Like, oh, Arnold, we heard Arnold so many times. Okay, fine, do it. Do your thing. Hey, how you doing, guys? Let me tell you a story. So I tell my kids lullaby stories as Arnold. Like, Jack and Jill went up the hill, taking fire, shooting machine guns, throwing grenades, getting to the helicopter, good night, like that. I do that with my kids. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. Good, I'm going to do that. But 8 a.m. brain of Ahmed does not work so well. So instead of going that route, he started a joke that is not for the public, that includes Jack and Jill. When everyone on the call paused, I was like, I changed it very quickly. I caught myself and continued with, they kept running up the hill and Jack started firing and they went to the copter throwing grenades. Anyways, it went there was a Robert De Niro and a Rocky afterwards, and at the end I won a $100 ticket for lotteries. So Magnus did it. Magnus did it for me.
Yeah, your role playing had real world impact.
Exactly.
Also, the ability to read a room.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was that morning brain. I need.
That
coffees.
Is the deafening silence of concern I'm hearing right now.
Yeah.
Okay, something I completely forgot about today. So in airsoft, we have these melee weapons that we use on each other. They're not hard. They're just I'll show you one.
They're
this
weighted.
is not sharp. They're weighted. They're not sharp. This is like an axe. It's like it's dull. Like it's plastic. But there's something cool about it. It's got good weight. You know, it's got like a good weight on it, right? It's got a hole in the end. And see this cord? I took it off and I wrapped it around my forearm. And for about an hour, I screwed around playing I was God of War. I think I injured my foot really bad, but it was a lot of fun. I was like, and I springing around,
So
like
wait,
thinking, like, if this thing breaks.
Is there a recording of your impression, and then
No,
is there a recording of you fiddling with this axe?
Oh, this thing was awesome. You guys got to try it, seriously, because it flies really well, and when you pull it back, it's just knees or toes. It just
knees or toes. Awesome.
So it's really good at hurting
Sounds like fun.
the wielder.
Right.
So it's like most chain weapons in reality, where it's like, I'm going to hit you with this
I'm
thing.
like doing it. This is so unwieldy, but let's try it anyways. 60 minutes later.
The first 500 hours of wielding nunchucks.
You can basically call that out my balls. It's
Yeah.
just the name of that
I
whole
knocked
period.
myself out with
No,
nunchucks when I
you
was a
can
kid.
you can hurt your knees pretty bad with those too.
That was the look of someone
One
who's
could
tried.
almost go, they're intentionally made to demonstrate skill, not actually to be real weapons.
They're actually they're used for grappling.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be whipping them around like
hitting people with
popping people in the head.
kitchen blades and stuff. Yeah. Catching people's arms.
All right, Mark, what's up with you?
Not much. I saw went to the movies and decided on seeing a movie I wouldn't normally see because I heard it was fucked up. It's called Infinity Pool.
Oh, how was it?
Disappointing. It was a movie that was desperately trying to come up with a message, and I know what they were trying to say. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody. But it was just meaningless violence. That's all it was. I'm like, okay, this is just gratuitous at this point. It's not
like fun violence or like
it's like torture
Cruelty.
porn sort of.
I don't like that kind
cruelty.
of violence. That's the wrong kind.
Yeah, I never liked that.
And it was like it's Cronenberg's son. I can't remember his first name right now.
Brandon.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was
I looked it up. I'm cheating. It's not him.
Oh, okay.
I'm not Rain Man over here.
So like it was very.
I know everybody's
getting
Google does.
stabbed. You're seeing the
Adam Bot
is
GPT
happening.
over here. So Adam Bot works like he sits on top of Google.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
He's got good typing speed.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So end of the day, just would not recommend. It was just.
An example of the fun kind of violence would be the Punisher Warzone, where the guy's doing
Yes,
parkour off the
that's
building
super
and
fun.
gets blown up with a rocket launcher. That's very violent.
Yes,
but it's
very
fun
funny.
violence.
Yes, absolutely. 100% agree with you on that.
All right, why don't we do a recap of the last couple games, Snake in a Box and Apocalypse Later, which is like one of the best names for a game, by the way, Ahmed. It's pretty good. Barnabas, Eamon, Thogrim, Slake, and Widget wander into the tomb of Diderus, full of traps, constructs, and vicious undead, in search for the fallen worm speaker Varam Vastone. In the tomb of Diderus, the party encounters the Oracle of the Abyss and the mummified form of the false diviner. Barnabas makes a dire sacrifice. Barnabas, Thogrim, and Widget receive horrible visions of a great planar war and invasion by the Otra. Deep in the complex, they find a lair of Yuan Ti who managed to summon a horrible monster to defend them. One of the party members falls in battle. A duo of devils try to maneuver to seize the incapacitated dwarf Varam. And surprisingly, at least in my opinion, I turned a very bland dungeon into something kind of fun. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of work to make it relevant to the campaign and to make it fun and to like. This was for me to lift this directly from the 5th E module Rise of Tiamat. It needed a lot of work. Not only did I need to convert from 5e to this, I needed to do a bunch of stuff. But I was happy with it. Anyways.
It was fun. It was a fun dungeon.
Yeah, most of the characters playing these.
Compliments, but I'm.
Most of the characters going through these dungeons aren't Gestalt.
This was one dry cracker. It wasn't even the name bread. It was like off-name bread, slightly stale.
it was great value.
I can't do this. It was like I can't. My players would quit. And people would just stop watching. You know, it's like I gotta serve you some dry crackers. Bon appetit. I find other people's modules sometimes need a lot of rework. Anyways, we're not going to concentrate on on that group tonight and on Saturday. I think we're going to shift over to what happened to the other group as they teleport to or try to get to the Isle of Nefelus. I assume teleportation, but I could be wrong. There are other ways of reaching a place that is known to have teleportation traps. Let us go to the conversation layer. This is the group that has assembled. The other group has gone into a different room. This is inside of the main government building inside of Denevar. and they've teleported away to go search for a dwarf named Varam. While this group, I think, was going to go pick up one other person.
The angel.
Amyria, who came out of the silver sword or the platinum sword that Brennos is carrying. When it was exposed to chaotic energies of limbo and a dragon that briefly followed Brennos got swapped in for Amyria's place. Yeah, you were gonna gather her because you thought that maybe having an angel on your side would be.
We're trying to initiate diplomacy.
Would be useful in your diplomacy with an isle of people that may have close contact with angels. There are a lot of Azamars that live on Nefelus, and Barnabas told you that there was a hero from long ago, an imperial hero that took part in some of the dragon hunting long ago that founded the island, and it's been a haven for basically good. But they've been somewhat xenophobic in that they've got magic that keeps the island safe from any sea traffic, as well as, according to Agony, who just recently visited there with a tiefling named Makath, teleportation traps. And feel free to interrogate Agony some more about details. As he may not have told you everything yet.
Why would he keep things to himself?
Well, it's just, like, he gave you a summary. He didn't go into a terrible amount of detail.
Right, so we're gonna get Amyria on the way.
Who? Says Agony.
The angel that was in my sword.
She fell out.
Don't worry, isn't. My pal Zeto's in there now.
You notice that Val Soren is kind of stalking one end of the room and kind of keeping an eye on Agony, and Agony is also like looking at Val Soren.
Is there a dance going on I'm not aware of?
They're just sizing each other up, I believe.
General wariness.
That normally happens if there's a mate around or some other scarce resource.
I assure you, my son is anything if he's not into mating, much to my disappointment.
Are you sure your friend here isn't compromised? He is wearing an artifact of the enemy.
No,
of course, he's speaking of this mass kind of crown of black dragon horns that is moderately easy to identify as a Tiamatan artifact.
Aren't some things somewhat fungible? Like the definition of enemy. We've treated with multiple members of the cult who are not insistent upon the destruction of everything. It's a fractured group.
Well, perhaps, Agony, you could tell us how you ended up with the enemy's mask on your face. Because she doesn't know.
Oh, he put it on.
I was in charge of sorting the treasure. I found myself compelled.
Right, fucking compelled. Brennos is looking at Sonny.
Let's see if Agony's bluff is any good.
Don't worry too much. Her sense motive's not fucking up.
Val's sense motive, that's going to be the problem.
Yeah.
31, and then Val.
I can actually beat 31. Oh,
It's within,
No. Believe you.
Yeah, Val doesn't say anything. He just stops pacing. So does that mean you want it removed? Says Val. No, I'm fine where it is.
There's more important questions at hand. Why are you having trouble mating? It's an important part of your lifeline.
Well, he seems bound and determined to drive away any woman who will have anything to do with him.
We just need to give them better reasons to be around. Oh,
There's a shift. Val's still got his helmet on. There's just sort of a subtle shift. Like you can tell he's looking at his mother a little bit. I am bound by duty.
You're bound by duty to protect me, not deny me grandchildren.
I am bound by duty to the undying emperor.
Of course you are.
There will be plenty of time for that after I retire. If
What about
I retire.
me? What about time for me?
Mother, you've managed to keep yourself very... You'll likely outlive us all.
We shall see. We shall see. It's fine. You want to keep breaking your mother's heart. Let's get on with things. You have duties.
This is fascinating.
And she looks away and bites her lip like she's in pain.
Keyword there, like she's in pain.
Val shakes his head in obvious frustration, perhaps a bit of embarrassment because it's in front of all of you guys. His new battle companions that he has a growing respect for.
So Brennos doesn't have a mom. Doesn't have a mom that he knows of. I got nobody who can empathize with the mother that
Yeah, and Cog's family is all dead because he's.
It's from 300 years ago.
Yep.
Sonny's 2 years old.
So he's 2.
2 going on 50.
Most unfortunate. All right. So, Agony.
Yes.
The teleportation trap, did it put you into a single room with your compatriots? Did it separate you out in some sort of...
No, there are these energy fields. 4 chambers. We ended up... split up. McCath in one, myself in one, and another ally in another.
Ooh, who was the other ally?
Agony looks really reluctant to say.
I think it's best you just spit it out now and we can deal with it now.
Is it a secret?
He's a dragonborn on his path to becoming a dragon. Much like I did.
So, a pupil of some sort?
No, someone we've run into before. Do you remember Langdedrosser?
I don't.
Was that the blue one?
That was the blue dragon guy
Right.
that raided the
He
Sylvan.
kicked our asses last
Yeah,
time we saw him. He,
Cog was part of the party. Sonny
Yes,
was part of the party.
Brennos wasn't.
And the other.
This is where the guy who was shooting acid at us?
He had a blue dragon, and it was a blue dragon like Death Knight.
He raided the castle with
the treasure.
And he was shooting
He was the one who collected it.
Yeah.
acid breaths at us.
No, he was blue.
Oh. Was he upset about the treasure?
He learned to keep his distance from all of you.
Well, sounds like somebody I want to get a little bit closer to.
We all ended up trapped. McCath was able to figure out a way out of her trap. She managed to sort of undo the trap for me, which is how I got away. I don't think Langdedrosser got away, unless he found a way himself. Spells bounced off the barriers. It was very similar to maybe a force effect. But our magics... Part of the injuries I sustained was from my own spells.
Bouncing is more... Was it a turning effect? Or simply, or combined, as in you targeted it? Did you attempt to disintegrate it?
No, I attempted to use one of my... does Agony disintegrate?
Spell turning on top of a wall of force. It's a pretty assy combo.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Anti-magic field would do it.
Because it might not be best to just...
Yes. It came right at me. I was lucky to have He points to like a lighter part of his scales in his
Yep.
chest. It wasn't a good day.
Right, so, they like spell turning, and he's, like, explicitly telling this to Quintessa. Just to... That's very dangerous.
I'm aware.
McCath is slippery. Agony seems a little annoyed at McCath at this point.
Well,
She also has something of mine.
a little piece of your heart.
No, a skull.
A little piece of your skull.
Not my skull. It'll be a blue dragon skull. Let's just say Langdedrosser was an ally of convenience. Although,
I know what you're talking.
although he's not one of the crazy cult members. He can be dealt with. He's got goals beyond that of the cult.
See, they're not all the same, Valsoren. Some of them want the destruction of everything, and other ones are just practicing their own different religion-y thing. I mean, they're all Tiamat worshippers, and I believe she is on the list of,
She is banned.
Oh, no. Are you sure? That doesn't sound right. She's in hell. She's evil or lawful. Very in line with the Imperial.
Quintessa looks to Val because he knows a lot more about the planes than she does.
It's not demons. So he's now confused.
She isn't a demon, but she's not necessarily...
See, it's in the gray area, which means it's all okay.
Her religion is restricted.
Right then.
See, he's so smart. What woman wouldn't want this? You're so smart. They're lining up and you're beating them off with a stick. I don't understand why.
We'll talk about that later. All right. So
I suspect that if we teleport to the place where McCath broke the teleportation trap, there's a chance that we would not fall into the other traps.
true.
Of course, we might just appear in the other traps. I don't know how the device works.
This sounds like we probably should be slightly smarter in our endeavors and wind walk through this stormy barrier. Or something.
I had to use certain powers to escape, and that was with McCath weakening it.
Certain is a bit vague.
He takes his clawed hand and he just taps the multicolored scale of Tiamat that is embedded in his chest plate.
So, I don't know that we want to be...
The field went back up as soon as I was able to breach.
I don't think we want to be in that trap. I think
No.
the front door, so to speak, might be better. Did you get a... Actually, did you speak with anyone? Were you interrogated by anyone?
Yes, there are angelic people as well as the big green guy. We were warned that the angel of death would visit us if we were not forthcoming with information.
Is that some sort of metaphor for...
No, I think there's some Azamar that pushes a lever that actually disintegrates the things that are inside the traps.
I see.
That's almost poetic in naming.
We were given some time to think. I think they were busied by the attack.
So the green guy, you remember what he looks like, yes?
Yes.
Perfect. I would like to speak with this green guy, or at least establish communications. would you share your memory with me?
Yeah. If we're gonna go, Val actually turns to his mother. He says, "There are Imperial ships that pass by that part of the world all the time. Perhaps we could try to commandeer one of them."
Don't like boots. It's a big boat, right?
He leans in a little bit and he says a little bit quieter. He says, "There are ways of teleporting directly to boats. At least the large ones." And he leans back like he's alluding to some Imperial semi-secret.
I don't believe we should just teleport in blindly. I think we should establish communications, offer our support, inform them that the Druid of Volcanica is there to support them, provided they wish to integrate well with the peoples of Volcanica itself.
Who? Says Agony.
Right, prepare for a fight. Understood.
I don't think you were calling yourself a Druid of Volcanica when Agony left.
Oh, you have been far away, haven't you?
I'm the Druid of Volcanica. Apparently, the Imperium has acknowledged my domain.
No, they haven't.
They let him
I'm
run
pretty
around.
certain they have. They've come to me and addressed me properly as the Druid of Volcanica.
Self-proclaimed.
I don't think they said that.
They said that.
So Agony puts down whatever defenses if he has any. He holds out his hand to accept your spell.
I'd like to share memory.
Yep.
I want the memory of the guy.
Well, you're gonna get kind of a memory of a scene. So
I want the memory of a scene. No, I like because and he can, however he's framing. I'm like letting him. He's picking the memory. So.
Yep. He's picking the memory of you guys in those chambers.
Okay.
Give me a second. I need to find the tokens that are
Awesome.
not in that area. Where did she go? Let's download her token again. It's all right. Players do things that sometimes you're not prepared for.
When it's 2:00 in the morning, it's like, yeah, let's teleport into the trap and just talk to him. And then it's not 2:00 in the morning. You're like, maybe we should do this like less in the way where when it goes wrong, you get stabbed.
Okay, first, you see the tail end of a conversation between three people. You now know what Macath looks like.
Cool.
You see Langdedrossa, and you could see Agony with the three of them, and there might be the smudge of something very large and very invisible, kind of looming over Langdedrossa. Are we ready then? Says Macath. Macath is looks like by the ash color of her skin, a drow, but she's got horns and maybe some of the signs of being a tiefling. It does look like Langdedrossa, with your knowledge arcana, has fully undergone a transformation to become a half dragon. So he's a half dragon, blue dragon.
He's a true dragon.
Dragonborn. Some of his gear has changed since the last time you've seen him, and it looks like he's been a few extra scars and a little bit sort of a mean look to him. Agony looks very similar to how he looks right now before you. Both of them kind of nod that they're ready, and Macath is. You hear a third voice that goes, "Give me one moment," and then the illusory thing shrinks a little bit, and then there's a much higher pitched voice that says, "Ready," as the dragon shifted forms.
Okay.
Give me a spellcraft, Sonny.
All right. Oh.
You good at those?
Yeah, Sonny's great at this.
It's the sword. What?
What? Okay. 57.
You now that you've seen the creature, you recall the name of the blue dragon that traveled with Langdedrossa. It's Lenethon, and apparently Lenethon has the ability to shape change like a metallic dragon, despite the dangers and opening up the possibility of certain diseases.
So it's a natural ability. He's not casting it like a spell.
He's not casting it like a spell.
Okay.
It sounded like he turned into something small, like a gnome or a halfling.
True sight.
That's the dragon that made us
PP.
basically bend the knee and give them stuff.
It was also a really long day, to be fair.
Yeah, it was a very, very long day.
Oh, Cog remembers him.
Yeah, on the
And-
attack on the Sylvan Acres in Foundry. Sorry, I was
Way
trying to
back
say the
when.
name.
Yeah,
Several
yeah.
years ago. A whole
Destroy my
pandemic ago.
potions, will you?
You learn a little bit. McCath is the one that does the teleport. She teleports without error.
Okay. Where were they? Like, are they in a room, or are they...
It appears that they were in some like an inn room. Like you saw like a bed and some
Okay.
some like animal furs and
Is it like Imperial styling or Venkeshi?
give me a knowledge nature.
All right. Just to save me from going, Agony, where were you? 43.
Okay. There were a lot of freshwater fishing accoutrements that were on the walls in the inn room that they were at.
Okay, so they're
And
probably near that lake.
And it was in the interior, and it's... Do you have knowledge geography, or do you leave that to Barnabas?
Well, I do have a geographer. I do have knowledge geography because the item I picked up has it. 32.
There's a great series of lakes in Geogan, which is in the interior of the continent. It's also the imperial breadbasket. There's a lot of fertile land around that area, and it's a relatively safe place. The Imperium has guarded it quite well, and it's kind of squished between two other dangerous areas, and it's in southern temperate clime. You notice like a stuffed fish head is definitely from the Geogan Lake area, and why would somebody have like a carp from Geogan Lake?
Yeah. Cool. Awesome.
All right, so they teleport, and they end up in a very strange-looking room with technology that isn't quite
The
usual. They teleport. You get the sense that it was a rough teleport and that they got shunted like as they were arriving. It's like some sort of magic sent them on a perpendicular path, and they all kind of are like thrust hardly into these circular pads of metal that have all sorts of interlacing runes on them, and they were all kind of forced to their knees as they teleported harshly into these
And the
these
small
places.
invisible thing is over here. Far left.
There is another one where there isn't anything in it.
Where did the fourth one go?
Sorry. You're not sure where the invisible creature
Okay.
went. Yep.
All right.
And Agony's vision at that point, he shared what you wanted to know where you would end up, and then what is
Who
language
interrogated
awesome? What's that?
him? Who interrogated him?
Oh, that's right. Okay.
The green guy.
Agony, there's a bit of him like coming to a little bit, and he ends up walking into the invisible barrier, which actually slaps him back, and he ends up on the kind of doing a combat roll backwards You can see Langdadrossa let off a breath weapon, which is now bouncing around inside of his area, and he's hitting himself. Give me a spot check, Sonny, to see if you...
Perception. 46.
Okay. You notice that Langdadrossa is speaking. Like, he's stopped for a moment, and he's you've been around a lot of time. He's speaking in his mind.
Okay. Yeah.
And you think with your perception check, the dragon didn't come with them. Like, he let go at the last moment.
Yeah.
It's at this point that McCath seems to be pacing around, and she gets up, and she looked like she saw what the others did, and she's pretty quick on her feet. She starts casting... actually, she just starts concentrating on the ground. You suspect that she has maybe some sort of permanent arcane sight, or had already cast the spell, and she's just looking around at her barriers. She takes out a kit of some superior-looking tools and begins to fiddle to try to break out. Eventually, and they can hear each other. Like, Langdadrossa seems really frustrated. Agony's also trying to get out. She tells them to hold off for a few moments. And then, eventually, this guy comes marching in.
There we go. Oh, doesn't he just look so fun at parties?
He kind of comes gliding and flying in, while there are two heavily armed female warriors whose armor looks like it mimics that of angels, and they might not actually be angels.
Wannabes.
I can picture him at that party. Your merriment comes with a stench of sin.
Yeah.
He says something like flies to honey, thieves have arrived, and that's as much of the back talk that Agony really wants you to see, Sonny.
Yeah, something embarrassing happens after this point. Yeah. That's fine. Cool.
McCath immediately, when those people appeared, like, sleight of handed her tools and kind of like stopped what she was doing and put down her pack on top of like where she was actually starting to wiggle with some of the wards, and you get the sense that she might be like Barnabas and good with traps.
Weird. So at the time of the teleport, did Agony have the blue skull on him or no? Or was it not visible?
The skull was not visible.
Skull, yep. It was like it was stowed there, just is not a thing. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Oh. I like McCath.
You
she
should be
seems
careful.
Useful.
She knows both wizard and priestly spells. But she's definitely a tiefling. With the heart of Asmodeus. Well, maybe a bit of... There's some impetulance there.
Sonny's nodding and he's just hearing, yes, neutrality, the right way of things.
I didn't realize, though, she went through our things the night before. She must have.
It's not nice to go through other people's things.
No, it's not.
That is a very impressive chamber, and the green guy certainly has a menacing demeanor. But he did appear to have some form of authority.
How do we get out of that? Or sorry, I wasn't there.
You were aware that the dragon didn't come. Do you know what tipped him? I mean, you were there.
Langdadrossa and the dragon play tricks. He didn't fully trust McCath either.
So...
Although it could have been Langdadrossa that stole my skull, he seemed interested in it when I described it to him.
You said it was a blue skull,
Yes.
and he's a blue dragon. Does that just kind of,
Yes.
I don't want to sound too simple.
And it's not. I wanted I wanted Langdedrossa to breathe on the skull to wake it up. It apparently is the skull of an ancient draconic sage.
A totally valid being that is safe, and Sonny's talking to Valsword is fine. It's fine. You just don't worry. We'll find you an appropriate mate and make your mother happy. Turns around.
You convinced him of nothing.
In Sonny's head, he's got like the perfect deflection mechanism where we need to deflect Valsword. All right. So, we probably don't want to go into that trap. Probably because
She damaged the first one.
it's a trap.
Although we were trying to teleport to a different place on the island altogether.
Did she say anything about the storm that surrounds the island?
It's called the Halo. It's why we were teleporting and not taking a ship.
Don't like boats. Interesting. Is there a... There should be a method, I think. If I were...
It raises the question, why were you going there? That's Val. I told you, McCath wanted a compass.
A compass to find the horn. A compass to find the iceberg where the horn was.
Yeah. Why were you there? Agony shifts in his own scales a little bit.
To find the horn?
To help McCath, yes. Langdedrossa seemed to have a deal with McCath that if I helped them, they would help me.
Is to breathe on his totally safe sage.
Also, the place was described as highly magical.
Wait, don't we have some sort of papers that say we're allowed to pillage on the sake of the Empire or some shit like that? Barnabas has it all sorted out, don't worry, and he was part of the Emeritus something or other at the time anyway.
It's called salvage rights, not pillaging rights.
The fact that the island exists and has ties to the Imperium, there's if the Imperials were offended by this island, they would have gotten rid of it long ago.
We were told explicitly that it was good to keep it around by the Imperials.
Right.
The Imperial interests wanted the island to
Without a
exist.
roll, Quintessa doesn't know exactly what the relationship between the island and the Imperium is, but...
It's more the iceberg and the Imperium.
Oh, yes.
Like,
yeah.
the goal was the iceberg, right? To get the compass, go to the iceberg. The iceberg is highly magical. Right? Or I interpreted Agony of Acid's statement as, I need the compass to get to the iceberg. The iceberg is this highly magical place that's full of stuff. Yeah. Go pillage the iceberg. The Imperials couldn't crack the treasure out of.
McCath did come back.
So,
That's how we found out that there was winter attacking the island.
Yet she was caught, correct?
She didn't come back to fully rescue us. It's like she was deking back to the prison where she knew no one was watching in between her forays into the island to do her own thing. She wasn't in a hurry to free the two of us.
Sonny is leaning over to Quintessa. Tiefling thing might be disruptive to some, but she seems to be very capable and of like fine stock.
You haven't even met her.
I deeds speak more than other things. She is cleric magics, wizard magics, the ability to sneak around and do the physical things.
She is an Asmodean and cannot be trusted.
Oh,
She's a fugitive that is to be captured, says Val.
she is a lost soul that needs guidance.
Perhaps you can guide her soul through a jail cell.
That sounds like it. Doesn't sound like she'd be in one very long.
She will be if we take her fingers.
A little bit of time as a fuzzy bunny will set one's spirit at ease.
If you need incentive, says Val, the Imperial Administrator did mention there is a reward for her capture. I'm sure your League would be interested in that.
Who says we need to but we'd have to turn her over to one of the Maedrocracy or the theologians.
No, the Imperial Administrator would decide her fate. Or her superiors.
So he's not arguing. He doesn't believe you. He's just... if the boat probably is a good idea, especially if we have to wage war on icebergs. Do we know who would be the giants that would be leading the armies of the floating iceberg thingies?
Agony shakes his head. Says he
Did
didn't
you see any
them.
giants?
Not from the prison. When I broke out, I teleported away.
Oh, wait, there's the Imperial got navies that might know about the fucking icebergs that float around and raid things. Seems like Imperial... Val, you got any sort of source in the Imperial Navy?
The Imperial Administrator of El Cervea will.
Alright, so we'll figure out what naval officer that we can talk to that knows intelligence, and then we'll... the fancy word, what's the inquisitorial word for seize is not the right word, it's a comprehend, no, apprehend, no, fucking... we're gonna take the boat. Ask them which boat to take.
Val says commandeer.
That's the one. Which boat to commandeer? A big one that's sturdy, that doesn't sink.
Quintessa, you know that this approach will take days. It'll probably take days to track down a boat, and then you can teleport to the boat if it's one of the more important boats. And then you got to sail the boat to wherever it is to the island.
And we'd need a crew.
Or assuming the boat's already got a crew, like this approach will take. And I'm fine with this. I'm just saying that if there's any sense of urgency to help out these people, this plan will take days.
This plan will take at least a week. If everything goes well.
Well, that's no good. That's no good at all. Is there land near the island that we could windwalk from?
Well, I think you're the resident geographer at this point.
Yes, but my memory is a little...
Oh, that felt good.
Your role is now geography.
Geographer of Volcanica.
I'll switch to the world map for a second. There is the world map. And then
That is a long ass way, even by windwalk.
Yes, it is.
Overlook somewhere up in this mess. Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, I got it.
It's like
And the Isle of Nefelus is
via windwalk, not including the storm. It's like 7 hours. Jesus, that's a lot of windwalking.
That's a day, man. We can do that in a day. It's no problem.
It's true. Or we could jump in the trap in 6 seconds. But I don't want to start in the trap.
I know. Nobody does.
If we start in the trap, we have to rely on Sonny to diplomacy his way out of it, basically. Probably it's our best bet.
Yeah. And Sonny is okay at diplomacy, but only
He's,
okay.
I checked it out. He's pretty good.
He's good.
It's 3,000 miles and change away, and you can travel how fast with the?
Oh, sorry. No, we're going to teleport to this down here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No. We greater teleport to here, and then we windwalk across.
I see. Because windwalk's 60 miles an hour, right?
It's 60 miles an hour. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
1 square
If you
per hour.
windwalk from Overlook, it would take you 51
Forever.
hours.
Yeah. It's still faster than the boat. But yeah, no. We greater teleport like a big chunk of the way.
7 days, depending on the weather.
So, yeah. And then there's like, oh, what if you shadow walk to the island? And I don't know what the Angel Island looks like in the shadow plane, and the Shadowcaster's not with us, so we're not going to investigate that. Then the last version is we plane shift and see if their trap will also catch plane shifts, where we just plane shift out and then back in to see if they... That's dangerous, though. So.
Well, I'm not going to the island looking like me, is what Agony says. They already got a good look at me. They know who I am. While I didn't say much, they don't think I was there to make friends.
Well, we are coming to save their bacon. And bacon is delicious and needs saving. So you should appreciate that.
Val says, "Wizard, is there a way for you to announce our arrival before we get there?"
Oh, is there ever?
I have the best announcements. I like announcing things.
Does he?
I mean, permission. My mother is a countess, after all. We could be diplomatic.
Well, this is what I was saying, where we can make contact via sendings for appropriate access and know where to strike and begin, normal diplomacying and bringing the peoples together. And a little bit of inspection to make certain they're behaving well.
Well, if I were them, I would accept the sending, tell them to teleport, allow us to teleport into the traps, and have a diplomatic party there waiting to let us out.
Hey, so we're trusting them.
I warn you, if they don't like you, you'll end up dust.
Or they try to turn any of my friends to dust and they'll get a sword to the face.
I don't think they'll necessarily risk turning a diplomatic party from the Imperium to dust. Not without cause.
They didn't turn us to dust because they weren't finished interrogating us yet. They have some sort of...
Well, by the sounds of it, you were criminals there to steal something. With all due respect, maybe that's what you deserved.
It's a little harsh.
I'm sorry, Inquisitor.
What happened to, lashings, A swat on the bottom. little tomfoolery.
Is that what you were doing in Overlook? Swats on the bottom?
Yeah, I was cleansing an infestation.
And that's very much likely what they see themselves doing.
Well, and to be fair, they are all swats on the bottom. Just, how hard do you swat?
I suppose the term bottom is relative.
When you... Yeah, I swat at the bottom from the front of you.
There are tokens, is what Agony says, that allow you to teleport. I did hit a guard pretty hard in the face.
Did you kill him?
I don't think so.
Did you acquire his token?
Yes, but it disintegrated itself after I used it.
Ah.
It was a little mirror.
Perhaps if you share your memory, and one of the wizards will be able to make another one.
I think they just left.
I don't make things. I make worlds or something. Small things, no. Scrolls?
You make trouble is what you make, Sonny.
I think the green guy has a mirror that doesn't disintegrate. The guard, I saw them disappear.
All right. So we grab Amyria, we make contact with the island, we go, oi, we're coming to stomp some things and, uphold the duties of the Imperium, etc., etc. Also, don't hurt the tiefling, maybe hurt the blue dragon guy a little bit. Not too much. Don't need to dust him. And then, what? We ask them how we get there?
Okay.
Sounds fine.
All right. So, first things first, we get Amyria and hope she wants to go. Also, if we end up needing to beat some angels, don't do it in front of her, please. Right, just the worst case scenario, everything goes sideways. Try not to. It's embarrassing enough as it is. It's been a long. Just help me here. Okay, so, since Sunny is likely going to be taking a knee at some point during the day, he will cast the spells to go and get Amyria.
Okay.
Amyria.
Sorry.
Okay, who's going to Brindol? At least that's the last place you saw her.
I think the lot of us. Give me a second. I'm just checking Mage's Decree. You can't use Mage's Decree to only reach creatures of a certain race. Or you could. Perfect. So we know how to find her when we get there. We have enough teleport space for everybody. So I think we just bring everybody. Unless you need to do something to get paperwork from the
We have enough teleport space with everybody plus Amyria.
Sunny's caster level it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1. So Sunny can teleport everybody. The thing is, Sunny doesn't have greater teleport.
Okay.
So Quintessa has greater teleport, I think.
She does, yes.
And then does Agony have greater teleport?
Yep. Okay,
so they will have to, like, the next teleport they'll have to do.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, teleporting to Brindol.
Okay, you end up in a very sunny place in Brindol. It's somebody's crabapple trees in front of their house.
Excellent.
You just end up like a bunch of rotten. Well, what time of year is it? It's spring, so there's
It's
a
spring, so.
bunch of blossoming crabapple trees.
Aha. All right. About how far are we from the temple place? Sunny is going to cast Mage's Decree to target, good outsiders.
Okay.
To say, meet the Druid of Volcanica, as well as Brennos and the others at that museum-y temple of
The shrine.
the shrine.
Oh, there was a separate building that was a temple of Bahamut.
At the temple of Bahamut.
I thought it was Io. Either way.
Don't remember.
To the temple of the dragon god.
Okay.
You want? I have to switch campaigns to get there, but we can do that.
because I got 6 circle spells. I'm gonna have to re-prep them anyway. So, and we'll find out if there's any other good outsiders in the town going, "What the fuck?" And by in the town, I mean
Some
in a
random angel shows up.
15-mile radius. Yeah.
You called?
Yeah. It smells fun.
Brindol city map.
Okay.
You ended up in the courtyard outside of Apple Glow Trading House, and it was called the Platinum Shrine.
The Platinum Shrine, yes. So we basically say, meet us at the Platinum Shrine to all the good outsiders in a 15-mile radius.
Okay.
Hey, might be something else there that's interesting.
Roll a D100. You've basically created your own encounter.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Roll it 3 times because you're in a highly populated place where there could be a...
83, 57, 55.
Okay.
Although Agony might want to use an alter self or something. If we're just random angels showing up, and you're going to walk around with black scale.
Yeah, so Agony casts Veil on himself.
Oh, nice.
And he's making himself look like a... Oh, I don't know. A silver dragonborn?
Nice.
All right. sounds good to me.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
His horns change. His general face doesn't, but his horns and scales and some of the structure in his wings changes. Yeah, it's a short walk to the Platinum Shrine once you get your bearings. And yeah, the Hall of Great Valor was the was the place where we found the Platinum Sword, and then the empty Platinum Shrine. You apparently get there first, but the Platinum Shrine, I think Cog and Sunny and Agony were part of the group when you first came to Brindol.
Brennos, on the road to Brindol is when they found Brennos.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay, so the last time you found this place empty, there were still some shields and even scales of dragons along the far wall, a very large altar, sort of a circular area with benches, almost like you could have a dragon at the altar and have many people sitting in benches around it. Last time it looked like it was kind of windswept and nature had started crawling in, but there are signs that somebody has actually been sweeping the floors and maybe even living here. You do see a little corner, a little side prayer booth or antechamber where somebody may have like stashed their equipment. And yeah, it looks like it's partially inhabited.
Hello. Any celestial beings in here?
Okay, coming cautiously in through a back door is a beautiful woman with white angel wings. Looks like she was picking purple flowers.
Ooh.
Or she's got like a bouquet of them as she comes through. She smiles when she sees her companions or the people that rescued her from the sword.
Hello.
She does not seem to hold any ill will even if you feel guilty for subjecting the platinum blade to the chaotic energies, Brennos.
Torturing the being within the blade until it popped out.
Yep. Friends, she finally says. Do come in. Do not be affrighted. This is the place of the Platinum Dragon. Many do not come here, for they fear dragons on this world. At least that is what I am surmising.
There were wars between the dragons and the people of this world, and it is unbalanced right now. Balance will come again soon enough.
Quintessa and Val look like they're hesitating to come in. Imperials, come in. All are welcome.
Quintessa takes this opportunity to unfurl what you thought was a golden cloak around her, which turned out to be leather, golden scaled wings. of a draconic nature.
Blessings of blessings of Baham. She goes right up to you and kind of holds your hand in hers. You did not tell me that you are blessed in such a way.
I carry the blood of dragons in me.
She smiles deeply and she squeezes your hand. There's genuine affection there.
Just squeeze back. She's
Yep.
a good person.
Yeah, Val just watches but doesn't make any hostile movement.
She leans in. My son does too.
Sonny was doing the exact same thing.
Cog is lingering at the doorway. She stopped like if you guys don't want to come in, she's not forcing you to. Agony does not enter the building.
That's fine.
In fact, you think he's across the street in an alleyway.
Lurking like evil bastard is.
Not being at all suspicious.
No, it just he stopped for a moment. The Cog noticed this. His back hunched almost like a cat. Getting agitated, and he backed away facing the building until the shadows between the lightly snow-covered buildings absorbed him, and you could see just these two blue motes from the veil staring back at the building.
Yeah, Kyle will go join him.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole 2 teleport groups.
So, what's bothering you there, Agony?
There's something about that place I cannot enter.
No problem.
He
hang out with
shakes
you
his
here.
head, and you notice that he's like rubbing his temples, or he's got his clawed hand over top of his own skull and like the mask. I can't.
It's the mask, isn't it?
If you don't want me murdering her, I shouldn't be anywhere near this place.
All right, I'll stay with you. Hey, let's look over there. Look at that. Look at that view. Look at the street.
She's coming with us.
It's likely. She would be a diplomat. In order for us to not enter into combat with the angels there.
I don't think I can go with you. But I should.
Well, I'd prefer you rather than her.
While I didn't see any giants, I felt a presence. I didn't want to get into it in front of the Imperial.
No, don't. She. What, you need to fight her? Is that what you're saying? You don't have a choice?
No, I'm talking about the island. Yes, whatever that place is, set my head thrumming.
But not her.
It could be her.
Shit. Well, we'll pay attention when she leaves the building, all right? We'll have to deal with it.
Okay, there's sort of a low growl from Agony.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Stop
sort
it.
of like.
But I want the paladin and anti-paladin in my party at the same time. How come we can't do that game?
You can if you're playing
I
Wrath
have-
of the Righteous on the computer.
I have a favor. I have a favor to ask you. If I do not travel with them, look for a skull.
A blue skull.
A blue dragon skull, yes. And if,
All right.
and if you can, get the blue dragon to breathe on it. Only if you can.
I'm sure I can get a dragon to breathe on me.
We'll get the blue dragon. Breathe on.
Be careful on the island. Something of Tiamat is there.
If you're not going to come with us, where will we find you?
Or maybe I will come with you. I'll just come after. I don't think I can be anywhere near that lady.
Well, I think we're going to need 2 groups of teleporters, regardless. So,
Every fiber of my being is saying destroy her.
Maybe distraction's what we need. Look what I can do. Start juggling. Huh? Look at this. One hand.
What is she? Some sort of angel?
Yes. She was what was trapped in the sword.
Which sword? The one that Brennos picked up.
That's right.
Okay, he's growling again. Like this low growl.
Well,
You can hear acid like coming out of his mouth and hitting.
You're
the
gonna have to
cobbles.
master the mask.
Agony actually
You're wearing the mask. It's not wearing you.
He actually pounds his forehead and the mask into the side of the building. Shakes his head.
Let's get some distance between us and this place.
I'm fine.
Let's walk into this forest over here. He's just like checking my way.
Yeah,
Like,
you're like, come on. I'm fine right here. He's just staring down the alleyway to the entrance of the building.
all right, put himself between.
Okay.
Just in case he loses his shit or something.
Yeah, he finally
I can't take it anymore.
he finally concentrates on you, and you make some small talk to keep him busy. Meanwhile, inside,
Wait, so we found this island full of angels and under attack by frost giants on glaciers. It also got some artifact thing and some people that need saving there.
an isle full of angels.
Hey, there's apparently a whole island full of them from some guy a long time ago. Some Imperial guy. He's nodding at Quintessa. Yeah, some Imperial guy, right?
Quintessa just kind of rolls her eyes and nods, like, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
I would very much like to meet these angels, says Amyria.
Excellent. We are hoping to... They're somewhat isolationist in their behaviors. So we are going to contact them and try to make certain that we meet peaceably. And we're hoping that you can help with the whole peaceable nature of things. So...
Yes, often diplomacy is the best option.
Aye, and it's good to carry a big stick just in case.
She smiles in a way that it's like, "Aw, you like smiling at a child that said something stupid."
Oh, hey, I remember these thoughts.
And she turns almost like to Quintessa, like, through my contemplation, I've realized some of my powers. Should it come to any sort of violence, I will be able to help protect you. And she means, like, the group.
That is wonderful, but we are hoping to avoid violence. If this can be accomplished diplomatically, I'd be most pleased.
Yes. Yes.
Let's be clear here. We're gonna go stomp on giants that are on a couple of fucking attack glacier iceberg thingy-mabobbers. That part's gonna use some violence. Also, Brennos is worshipping Hela today, so...
Yeah, your blade is fiery and
Yeah, we're like, yeah, no, there's gonna be some violence.
The idea of leaping before you look seems really good at this point. Have faith.
Oh, work
Leap.
out.
Yep. Amyria does show you one of the powers that she has. She concentrates for a moment, and she's giving off a constant magic circle against evil.
This is good.
Yep.
I like this.
That's interesting.
You're nice.
Do any of you have knowledge planes?
Yes. Sunny and Brennos both. Excuse me, have knowledge planes. Sunny's knowledge planes. 42. Brennos, nowhere near that much.
She's exhibiting the powers of a type of angelic outsider called an Archon. Having an aura of magic circle against evil is typical for these types of lawful good outsiders.
Interesting.
The fact
Can I
that,
have
and then a sense motive for everyone. You've now talked to her a little bit.
seems much happier with her circumstance. Much better adjusted. 45.
Oh shit!
This is for Brennos.
That's for Sunny.
Sunny?
Bre-
Yeah, so she is much happier. She seems to have reoriented herself, but she doesn't seem to have any memories. The way she's talking is she seems to be rediscovering her
Yes.
past or her powers or who she is, and she doesn't have many answers.
Brenno's got a 44, so similar.
Yep.
Uh,
She doesn't have any weapons either. That's
Are you familiar with Archons? Sunny says with like sort of a is that a triggering sort of thing?
a type of angel, she says.
Yeah.
They serve many of the gods in places of both law and good, of the heavens. Celestials. I think I am one of them.
I do too.
She smiles.
What do Archons normally fight with?
Archon is kind of like a classification of angel, like
Okay,
demon.
so yeah.
There are all different types of them, and you're not sure what type she is.
She ain't the green one, that's for sure.
No, green ones are angels as well, different family, but
Oh, those the Solars? Yeah. Or something. Anyways, doesn't matter. We'll deal with Grumpy Pants when we get to him. Alright, so armor, weapons.
okay.
Some
She
sort of-
oh yes, I carry them with me, and she kind of like claps her hands together and does something, and all of a sudden she's head to toe in like a mithril full plate, a tower shield, and a heavy pick of silverish metal appear on her.
A heavy pick is understandable. Praise Bahamut.
Yes, a heavy pick is the favored weapon of Bahamut. For non-dragons to carry, it's otherwise claws
it's-
for dragons. But
Alright, so,
she seems very sturdy when she's got her armor on.
yeah, never mind. The previous question, never mind that.
Okay. She kind of tings her pick against her shield, and all of it just disappears.
Understand basically Iron Man suit in like the later movies where the nano suit.
Yeah, it's sort of within a second it all.
It's
all
the
comes
armor
out.
instant
Yep.
summons or whatever it's called.
Yep.
Um,
Sunny, she did this as a supernatural power, which kind of makes her some weird variant of a shield archon. Normally, shield archons, their actual hands turn into the tower shield and the weapon, and it's not the same weapon. Yeah, you're something.
do you find your
some
fingers
variant.
dexterous?
She looks at her fingers.
That's like probably unique.
She smiles.
Most every living thing is.
She smiles. She bites her lip a little bit. She's a little bit nervous about the topic of what she is.
Alright, so now we're gonna get our planning together to get there. What are the things we've got a member of us that has, unfortunately come across a bit of a curse that hasn't been cleansed, and we're hoping to not have, issues.
Oh no, one of your friends is cursed. She shows deep concern. As for getting places, I can teleport, she says. I can arrive at places that all I need is a description. I cannot bring others, however. And this fits in at will shield archons. It can greater teleport.
It's like just yes.
In fact, with your 40 whatever you got with you can go ahead
Look
Adam,
up shield
and
archon.
read. She is effectively a advanced version of a shield archon with like slightly different powers with regards to
slightly
the
more
spirit
on point.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be real good against undead. And they speak Draconic naturally. Cool. All right.
that all of you interpret as being your native tongue.
What does Sunny hear?
Sunny hears her speak in arcane.
Mm-hmm. Almost tricked me. Sunny's like, oh, I know you don't know that one, really.
Well, she does have the odd silver scale or platinum scale here or there. If she doesn't have claws or she doesn't have like pronounced draconic teeth, it's almost like more like Quintessa, where there may be some latent draconic blood, which would be a powerful combination. Some sort of half dragon angel would be fearsome to behold.
I will make contact with the Isle, and we can share with you the location, and you can begin discussions there, I think, very shortly, because you could just go there. One of the risks to us is there is a trap that occurs when you teleport there, but you being celestial, might not be affected by the trap, but also would be viewed a little bit more favorably than those of us who are not celestial.
She nods. She points to some stone benches where you guys can sit down and.
Okay. Sunny in the little linky thing is going to go to Cog. Going to be casting a few spells. It'll be a couple of hours.
Amyria says, "Perfect. I will pray." And she goes and sits cross-legged before sort of a visage of the platinum dragon.
Okay.
Okay, Cog respond. Oh, can Cog respond or not?
You can. Yeah, you can talk back.
Agony's not very impressed with that building or the angel. He's trying not to kill her, so I'm keeping him here occupied.
Ooh.
This is something we need to look into.
Ooh. Okay then. All right. So before Sunny re-prepares his spells, he's gonna cast a few of the long-term buffs.
Oh, and you're doing this through mythic recuperation? Okay.
I'm gonna mythic recoup, and then I will. Oh.
Prep that spell for me. Doubles my damage.
We're going to attempt a greater scrying on. Let's attempt a greater scrying on.
Bujam? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I just took the name off the token. Green guy, green jailer man.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine.
Uncle Grumpers.
Uncle Grumpy.
Is there SR in the spell?
I believe so.
Okay, give me a roll.
All right. There is indeed SR in the spell. All right. Since I'm re-preparing my stuff, I will completely blow my gem because the re-prepare power is ridiculous. All right. So 1d20 plus.
Yeah, it's like mythic character will solve this problem today.
I'm just going to force magic the problem.
Yeah.
33, or I can roll again if that 33